So you want to learn more about SQL? Well, you reached the right video. Let me explain. This video is brought to you by DigiLink Academy, your #1 source to learning programming fast and get to that 6-figure freelance salary you desire. Our courses include our SQL Project course, our Freelance Kickstarter, our Python course, and our interview programming course, and much, much more. So if you haven't already, go ahead and click the link below to get to our free 7-step freelance guide so that we can help take your career to the next level. I'll see you guys in the course. All right, guys, let's just jump right into the problems here. A lot of your problems stem from just expectations, and they're all out of whack. I don't know if you've been listening to Silicon Valley videos or your instructor just gave you a really screwed up expectation of how things are in the SQL world. I want to bring those down to reality for you guys and really put things in perspective. But before I get started, I want you guys to share your expectations of SQL. How fast you think you're going to become a SQL developer. How long does it take you to learn how to code in SQL? How long does it take you to be a senior level developer, junior level developer in SQL? And also just general expectations. So comment below so that we can kind of get a good idea of what your expectations are. So that being said, guys, I got some points here I want to share with you guys and really put things in perspective for you so that you can kind of get things started. So the first thing, guys, when it comes to learning SQL, it's going to be a lot easier to learn SQL compared to the other programming language, especially once you start getting into the Javas, the C's, the C++. SQL is a lot streamlined because you got your main SQL statements that you got to learn, and then everything kind of build off of your select statements, your updates, and all that stuff like that, and everything else really start to make sense once you kind of learn those basic statements, learn the general concept of SQL as far as just storing data, tables, all that stuff like that, and then it just comes together very, very, very easy. I started from SQL, and I used to just do SSRS reports, and I just start to expand my experience level, my project level based off of SSRS reports, guys. That's considered a data analyst role, but I was able to go from being that to where I am now, where I'm building multi-million-dollar enterprise projects that leverage SQL as well, guys. So I expect you guys to do the same thing, easy, fast, and be able to not necessarily spread yourself thin on that side of things, guys. Secondly, project-based learning. A lot of you guys feel like, man, I gotta learn everything about SQL before I start diving into my projects, which is not the case. You know, typically you're gonna learn your syntax, your fundamentals, and then you start to do your projects. I'm of the mind that, yeah, I want you to spend maybe an hour or so just learning the basic syntax, learning what an array is, learning what a variable is, just the basics. I want you to dive into the projects as fast as possible because you're going to learn more within 2 to 3 hours doing a project than you would be probably days with a just basic learning everything. And the reason why is it's more focused. You have a specific thing you're trying to achieve, which kind of focuses you down on only the essentials you need to learn. I love that agile way of learning. I preach that agile way of learning, and I suggest you guys to try it, especially if you're struggling. The reality of the situation is, guys, if you're able to learn this fast, and in the corporate world, this is the name of the game. You got a specific time frame, that you got a specific project, you got to do it in a specific way. You don't have the luxury of going in and trying to find all these different ways of doing things with most of the projects. You got an issue, you need to fix it. You got to get in that mindset of agilely learning how to learn things on the fly and fix it pretty fast. The good thing about this, guys, over time in your career, you start to see repetitive issues, and you be able to identify them really fast. So don't be too concerned about it at the beginning. Yeah, you're learning agile way. It may seem like, hey, you going fast. Slow down, learn, get you some quick wins on some projects, and build from there. And over time, you start to, and that's the difference between a senior level developer and a junior level developer, guys. A senior level developer is good to go. So it's just amazing to me how everybody got their theory of learning, which I'm not gonna knock no other theory of learning, but show me the projects, show me the results. Put me in a situation where I can win. And I suggest you guys to do the same thing as well. As far as just, again, this goes into a lot of you guys' expectations on jobs. You want jobs. So I would suggest you guys to these projects that I was telling you about. That's going to be the quickest way to get you a job. Being able to showcase it, being able to talk through it, being able to take that industry knowledge that you have acquired by solving projects and communicate that over an interview. Especially if you go into an interview with a company, healthcare company, you have experience working on similar projects, you can translate that in that interview. You go straight to the top, guys, straight to the top. So I highly suggest you guys to kind of, first of all, start with your skills, learn the fundamentals, get into those projects as quickly as possible, and then you start to really kind of figure out, okay, from an industry knowledge perspective, how can I have impact on a actual company and be able to solve their problems, and then communicate that in the interview so that you can basically tell a person how I'm going to help solve your problems, how I'm going to make your life easier, and just grow from there, guys. So that's very important as well. Developer tools. This is another expectation and different from reality. At the end of the day, guys, developer tools doesn't matter at the beginning as much because you're not working at a scale project. As long as you got the basics, basic laptop, basic desktop, with your code editor on there, with you access to the internet so you can go look at resources to solve problems. That's essentially it for most of us. And then you kind of build off of that. So don't get too wrapped up into having all the gadgets, all the gear at the beginning. Don't worry about it. I did a video last week on my desktop. As far as just, I use this desktop for years, and I'm just recently getting ready to upgrade it. And I don't need to upgrade it now, but I'm to the point now where I want to see the fruits of my labor, and I just want something a little bit more sexier. But for you guys, and this is me 13 years in. So a lot of you guys just starting out, haven't got your first year, don't worry about the tools. You're going to get to the point to where you get your milestone wins and stuff, and you should be able to reward yourself with these gear that's not only going to help you be more productive, but put you in a better motivational state when you come in to see that nice workstation, that nice keyboard, and just be able to feel good about yourself. Professional networking matters, guys. I can't tell you enough. This is where a lot of developers sleep on. They say, I don't need to go out and network and be in front of people, which, you know, is not a requirement. But at the end of the day, once you start to work on more impactful projects, bigger and bigger projects, you want somebody who specializes in a specific area to give you some advice. Not necessarily solve the problem for you, but make sure you have a sounding board if you need to, guys. This is going to be important to have in all areas of your professional career. Let's just say you're not an infrastructure guy and you're working on a server and you think the server's the issue. I'm not a server expert. I don't want to be a server expert. Outside of just the general Googling, that's as far as I want to go. It would be great to have a professional network of people who specialize in networking that can come in, they know your project, they know what you do, and be able to provide insights on those specific expertise. You don't have to be a large network of professional people, just enough to give you kind of good coverage of basic IT knowledge, maybe an infrastructure person, maybe a SQL person, a front end person, maybe somebody who knows the landscape of an industry and operational person, maybe a business analyst or something like that. Just no more than about 10 to 15 people at the least can get you a good network, and you can get that pretty quickly, guys. But at the end of the day, you don't want to be in a situation where you don't have help. Last but not least, guys, you have to be impactful as far as just your projects. If you're not doing impactful projects, you get demotivated, it gets routine, and it just becomes a regular job. That's the luxury of being a software developer. You get to kind of really be impactful, and if you position yourself as a resource for a company that's important, you're going to always be in this position. So like, subscribe to the content. If you have additional questions, comment below. If you haven't already, go ahead and sign up for my free 7-step guide below, and also check out my premium courses, guys. Go support the channel and really take your career to the next level. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.